All right, this is Gunkclimber Talks Climbing. We're just going to hope everything's working here. And
That's pretty much me every time I start a climb.
Yeah, exactly. Again, this is first person beta. Check his channel out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, his website, firstpersonbeta.com. And let's see, my channel, Gunkclimber, on YouTube, Instagram. Check them out. All right. We're going to talk about cameras, basically, I guess.
Yeah, or rather, like
point of view.
Point of view, POV climbing,
right.
or POV video. Point of view. What's that?
Where to start?
I mean, I could start. All it takes is getting over the stigma, I guess, and attaching a camera to your helmet and go to town.
I mean, if you ask me, it looks pretty damn ridiculous, but we've been doing it forever. I think it's just you just get used to it. I have two cameras, so I look absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, you do have hell of a setup.
Yeah. But I mean, it's great for the people watching, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there is like this ever-present stigma with it, in that we all have seen it. I mean, you always see that general climber that's doing it, and part of it is because I really do believe everybody does it at some point or another. I mean, you try because you're excited about it. I mean, like, we all get into climbing and we want to share our adventures. I mean, there's a reason that blogging and vlogging is a thing right now. It's because people love sharing that stuff, and quite honestly, we love seeing it. I mean, there's a reason these people are as popular as they are. So everyone tries it out, and you quickly realize just how ridiculous it is. I mean, and what I mean by that is, like, look, the footage isn't necessarily the best, and I'll say it's not. This is not a blanket statement, okay? This is not, there's the objective, it produces terrible footage. It's not. There's a lot, I mean, I have well over 9,000 subscribers that would say otherwise,
Exactly.
But even I would admit, like, it by itself it takes some getting used to. It does appeal to a very niche set of people, and that's fine. It isn't for everyone, but the point I was making is, like, people realize this when they see this footage and when they try to share this footage, and they get the backlash. I mean,
right. Yeah, you always get those comments.
Well, that's a whole different thing.
I don't know. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
You might have a different opinion on this, but I feel like there is such a difference between the view when you actually see it. Because a lot of times I'll watch my own videos and be like, oh, that gear looks horrible. But I know when I was there, that gear was bomber. Yeah. But it just gives you some weird illusion because, I mean, I actually tell people now,
especially if you're using a wide... I mean, I think a great example of that is if you look at the when we did Bird on a Wire back in Joshua Tree.
Oh yeah, so that was a good one.
Yeah, so like I let it, and then you cleaned it. Now,
I thought it was fine, but other people did not.
Apparently, a lot of people didn't. Yeah,
oh God.
But what's unique about that one climb is you shot the cleaning it.
Yeah,
with your Fusion 360.
360, yeah.
And I shot it. I was using a session or a Hero 5 session. All right, so I shoot with a wide angle, wide field of view. But when you, in the way that you upload your Fusion footage, you upload it without that wide field of view. It's within a normal. I forget what it's like, 72 degrees or something like that is the field of view. So the point being is you get to see the placements from a wide angle and a regular angle, and you can see that difference. I mean, if you watch the two videos, and that's just a facet of the type of footage. Continuing with what I was saying before, point of view climbing is kind of, or point of view like footage in terms of climbing. One, I don't really feel GoPros were made for filming climbing. That wide field of view makes everything look more intense than it actually is. I mean, and it's done on purpose. I mean, you can plus like you also want to be filming and not have to worrying about things being in frame or out of frame and stuff like that. So you film it in a wide field of view. That was what GoPro had in mind. They wanted to like bikers and surfers. I don't know
if climbers was like the top of the list.
Yeah, I doubt it was, you know. Yeah. But it's certainly, I mean, and by the way, GoPro is not the only camera. I mean, you can use, DJI just released their Osmo. Before GoPros and Osmo, they had these bullet cameras.
Yeah, I remember that. I got the first GoPro. I was pretty much early on.
Yeah, you had a Hero 1.
I got it. It was I think it was like 300 or something at the time. So it was a cheaper camera that could record all this stuff. And I just got it just for the fun of it. I really didn't expect it to do much with it. I kind of wanted it more for my windsurfing. Yeah. Because it's an underwater camera. And I actually did a couple of shots. And actually, Corey, cameraman over there, he actually did some windsurfing with me one time. And that was fun. But I did not get into it to really use it a lot. It was kind of just more like, hey, I'm going to get this camera and just have fun with it. And then I kind of started using it for climbing, and I'm just like, I can almost see a purpose here. And then I got you into it.
You definitely got
really went into it. And I was like, I've done at the Gunks, I think I'm almost up to 200 climbs just in the traps alone that I've done. And I don't really have much to, I don't have records or anything. I used to climb with somebody who used to keep really good records of all the climbs he did. And I kind of came up with this idea just for myself, basically, is like, it'd be nice I could just record these so I can just kind of, during the winter time when I'm just like, oh, I got to get outside, I could just like, oh yeah, here's me at the Gunks on such and such climb. So it's kind of for my own record, but I'm just like, yeah, I'll throw it out there, and I kind of got into YouTube and, using it, but you really got into YouTube. And, yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, I think other people got me into YouTube. I mean, I didn't post. I wasn't originally posting these because I was trying to start a channel. In fact, the channel First Person Beta did not start as First Person Beta. I renamed the channel to that.
I remember.
Yeah,
and actually,
it was just my own like channel that I had. It was a place that I could upload videos to, and not even necessarily to show people. It just upload videos so that I could experiment or just whatever else, because I, Dropbox and AirPlay or not AirPlay, whatever the Apple thing is, sharing videos was not as easy then as it is now. Right. So YouTube made a great medium for that. It just so happened that these climbing videos were getting a lot of attention, and it got to a point where I'm like, well, I could really just kind of keep going with this, and people seem to enjoy it. And thus, so that was when I got rid of all the, I delisted all the videos that weren't climbing.
Right.
And
I still have some of those up. I just kind of throw them into another category so they don't show up.
Right.
I have my windsurfing videos and stuff like that. And I have,
and then I renamed the channel to First Person Beta. And just, what I found appealing about it, and we went down on our trip to the Red. This is, when was that? 2011, I think. 2010 or 2011, one of the two. And that was my
Twinkie.
That was right. That was when I first got on Twinkie. And you had your Hero 1, and which was all that was out at the time. I think. I don't think the Hero 2 had come out yet, but because I bought it when it came out. But that was my first sport climbing trip, or like legit, like go to a place for a week of time. And this is. I
mean, we were doing that every year for a while.
I know. Well, I tried getting in on it. Like,
you were kind of on the late end of it.
Yeah. So anyway, we would go out and we go climbing, and this is all new to me. or at least the area. Like just having like these rock walls looked like that. That was just
right. Yeah,
that blew my mind.
Yeah, that's not that's not Birdsboro.
And you had your GoPro, and then we were filming this, and then we would go back to the cabin and like make these dinners and watch this footage, and it was just
that was
reliving
fun.
all of this like awesome new thing that I was discovering, and I loved it. And I fell in love with it, and so this idea of like filming your exploits and then just like reliving that, it's I mean, in the truest sense, like I could say like I do this for me. I mean, it's something I enjoy doing. Yeah. Now there's a whole lot of other people that really enjoy it too. And as I mentioned earlier, like I also kind of feel it's something that everybody tries. It's just that it is, and it's if you get past that, you can see the value in it. You can see like how
because you can even talk to the people watching your videos. I can't.
Well,
do that I'm just like, I'm not up here. People are gonna look at me like, "What the hell is wrong with that kid?"
There is
but you're just good at that.
There was a point. I mean, I don't remember when, but I made an attempt to try to keep track of people that were actually doing it, but keep doing it. So, and that's like I said, everyone kind of tries it, but there's a very select few that will like continue the trend of doing it.
Yes, yeah. A lot of people drop out. I've seen some great videos that I really enjoy,
videos.
And then they just disappear, and I'm like, For instance, when we were talking before about the guy aid climbing Zion.
Yes.
Yeah, those are really cool, but I don't know.
Right, and then, but I think in his case, though, I mean, he probably stopped because of other life events, not because he didn't like doing it,
Right. But I'm just saying, I think that happens a lot where people just get sidetracked and they're like, it's enough of that.
The guy, I found this guy, his name's John Fine. He had a channel called JYSTROP1, I think is the name. It's something bizarre like that. Now, he used a bullet cam, but the way he would put these videos together, his narrating for the camera, and he kept doing this over a span of years. And his stuff is tremendous. I loved it. I mean, you got to like really...
Well, if you're on your own, I think it's perfect for just talking because people aren't like, what the hell is it? Because I mean, the Gunks is just, there's too many people.
Granted, like he was not a character, but like he was a personality. But it was more like his footage really put you... Like you could see how much fun he was having.
Right.
Like he really enjoyed doing this, and in turn, like you could not help but enjoy watching it. And I think that channel or his channel is largely the channel that really inspired like how I edit these videos and format these videos. And I do a little bit of editing. It's not like...
Yeah, you definitely make some good stuff, unlike me. I don't have time. I got 3 kids. I'm like, I just put it up. I'm trying a video every day. I'm going to run out of content sometime in April. I'm in big trouble, so I got to start getting out there again and getting content back together.
You're in trouble. I got nothing to post right now.
But I got some good stuff coming up, actually.
By the way, winter, if you live in the East Coast, winter is really hard as far as climbing goes. Unless you're into bouldering, then it's really good.
I've been doing a lot of bouldering recently.
Yeah, but bouldering doesn't make good.
You can't make good
footage.
videos.
Or it's hard to. I haven't really quite figured that one out yet. But
I don't know. Bouldering just doesn't work. I think you're better off like soloing easy stuff that's high up.
Well, I mean, like for as far as POV footage goes, trad climbing is king, definitely. And I think it's just like the element of like adventure. Look, I mean, most people, I believe anyway, and this is just going through my own subscribers. I think most people that are really into this footage They're not going out and pounding out 513s on sport, you know. Some of them might be,
Could
but
be.
like, yeah, I mean, some of them might be, but for the most part, I mean, it's a whole demographic of people that like, such as yourself, like they're moderate climbers and they just go out and they just really enjoy it. You know, they have a lot of climbing, gets them psyched, not because they're climbing hard necessarily. They just love climbing, you know?
Yeah.
And there's a whole world out there for you. I mean, moderate, like, you know, these cutting edge climbs back in the 70s are not so cutting edge anymore, you know? But they're tremendous. They're like these amazing, and they can still be test pieces for their grade. Footage like mine or yours, you know, offers people a chance to actually like experience that, you know. And
yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that hate GoPro like footage and stuff, and nothing beats it in real life, but it's just kind of cool. Like, you know, if you're on your computer, you know, you can pull up some cool footage. I love watching stuff. I love watching hard stuff. Even at the Gunks, like I just brought up yesterday, what's her name? Whitney Bolin. Climbing ozone.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff like that I just dig, even though that's actually not a GoPro. That was someone filming.
Right, I was gonna say that was someone filming off on the GT ledge,
but it's still cool. I love watching stuff. Yeah, I mean, my favorite of all out of anything is still I don't even know his name, but that one that Mexican guy that free solos up at
Monkey Aratu too.
I love that.
Like
they're so long, so you have to really he's got music the whole time. And my favorite video is like 50 something minutes of him just soloing up
the East Buttress of Angel's Landing.
Yeah, Angel's Landing. Oh God.
No, that's a tremendous video.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, well, his that's probably his second most popular video. His most popular video being Linda Vita.
Oh, is that one more popular?
Yeah, I think that one's more popular.
Because that one is shorter.
I can tell you why. Oh, it's a lot shorter, but it is, as far as like point of view videos go, he might have just nailed it like dead on with that one video.
Do you ever see him using ropes? Some of his videos using ropes are impressive too. Like,
it's very impressive. Yeah,
I've seen some cracks that he was climbing. I'm just like, whew.
Yeah. Well, there's a video of him also projecting Moonlight Buttress, doing like one of the upper pitches. He's doing this finger crack, you know, and it's great stuff.
I wonder what happened to that guy.
To tell you the truth, I think he had kids, and
I think he had kids when he was doing it.
He did, yeah. And I know, like, I don't know. I'm not sure what happened.
I'd love to meet that guy.
I know. It would be a lot of fun.
It's kind of weird. It's like, I don't even know what the guy really looks like, because most of the time it's, you know, on his head, so you don't really get to see the guy. But
I mean, there's a lot of some of his later footage. He has like shots of his face and stuff like that. Yeah. But he had a tremendous channel. I don't think he still has a tremendous channel.
I wonder if he like knows how much like people like appreciate his videos, because like a lot of people are just like, dude, that was great. You know, just watching it.
I don't know.
I don't know. That kind of like I've seen his videos, and it kind of got me really into just, you know,
I don't know. It gets me psyched, you know, but like, you know, maybe this is just our thing. I don't really know.
I gotta say, compared to most YouTube videos I watch, I just find them annoying. I just feel like they steal content. I feel like we're at least doing something that's like constructive. I mean, I watch a lot of, you know, videos on YouTube. I'm just like, okay, they stole all that material from over here, and they're just trying to make money on it. And I'm just,
the whole YouTube, the whole world of YouTube is a whole different conversation. I didn't really want to bring that up. I'm just like, oh God. Yeah. No,
annoys me. I just feel like we're trying to do at least something original, and
the originality of it is what
not original, but I just mean like something that's actually doing something, not just stealing someone's content or whatever. We're actually like, hey, let's go climb this. This is going to be a fun adventure, you know?
Right,
let's go out and check this out, or rope saw this, or, you know, aid climb this, or get up the nose, or whatever, you know?
Well, I think I think a lot. I mean, it has to do with the kind of climbing that you and I do. It's at least from my standpoint, because I've largely stopped filming a lot of like the unknown moderates and like these just random 510 sport climbs. Like I just don't film anymore.
That makes sense to me, other than I record everything at the Gunks just because I'm trying to keep a catalog. I almost feel like, if somebody is just like, oh yeah, I want to see what I'm getting into, or some people don't like any beta at all, which makes sense. I kind of prefer that too. I just like to try to figure it out on my own.
Well, I mean, I started posting,
but it's still fun watching, like some videos, and some people are like, oh yeah, that makes sense, or I did this wrong.
No, I started posting trad videos because for twofold. One, I had no idea what I was doing, and I figured like, well, the internet will totally tell me what I'm doing wrong if I post there. So, and they did.
Yep, they did that.
Yeah, they certainly do that. Oh. And then the other reason was, I mean, look, you're sitting at the bottom of a climb, and again, like this is me not knowing how to plug gear or anything, and I'm like, well, where's the protection? And it's in the Gunks of all places. And you're like, where will you find it?
Where's the rack?
Figure it out. And then, I mean, so having
I think that's the best advice ever. Figure it out.
Figure it out. I mean,
you don't want anyone to, get hurt, but at the same time,
welcome to climbing in its purest. It's just figure it out.
That's how I learn.
That's how most people learn. That's how most people learn.
Your turn. You're up.
But a popular way of learning nowadays is via YouTube. And it's. I mean, no one will give you that advice. Maybe my placements aren't the best, or at least in those early videos, when I started, like I figured my placements weren't the best, but at the very least you'd see all the features and all the rock, and you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. That was between the two. I mean, between that and also learning for myself what the hell I'm doing wrong. That was why I started posting these things, or at least posting the trad stuff. There was also the element of like not really caring what other people thought of me. At the time, I mean, that has changed. I won't say that has changed. Like now I do care. It's just more evolved since then, as terms of like what I'm doing and how I'm climbing. Now I'm not self-conscious about my climbing so much, at least when I'm in the moment, it's.
Yeah. I've made plenty of mistakes over the years. Like,
well, we all do, it's important to know that. A couple of them were like, oh, that could have gone really wrong and stuff like that. And I've done stupid things where it's just like, I've seen people climb and I'm just like, whew. It's hard though, because like given the popularity of the channel, I don't want to take on the mantle as a pundit. I mean, like I'm not formally trained in how to climb. Like I never took or attempted to get my AMGA certification or anything like that. It out. Yeah. Right. I mean, but the thing is the steps that like I have gone through, yourself as well, probably. This is the same steps that generations of climbers before us have gone through, and most people nowadays go through. And you know what? I think nowadays people don't allow you to make mistakes. Like I feel like now it's like if you don't do it right, people just get upset at you. And where like back in the day, I feel like, it's just like, let's just figure this out. Like, oh no, this rope sucks. Let's try this rope. Or, this gear sucks. Let's try this gear. I don't know. Now I think you have to be perfect at it or people get upset. I don't know. Well, I mean, it's also worth considering that there weren't nearly as many climbers out there. Maybe there's like then. It wasn't as exposed as a sport and activity. Maybe there's more assholes now. Well, it's just, because when I started, oh God, we did a million things wrong. Yeah. I mean, we did that constantly, but we just kind of figured it out. And right now it's like, it's all taught to you. Like, don't do this, do this. And instead of figuring out on your own, you're just taught everything. And well, I don't necessarily know if you're like just taught everything. Look, I mean, people still will go out and try to figure. I don't know. I think most climbers will just go out and try to figure it out. Yeah. Now, well, I think that's where it's at. I think that's the way it should be. But now I feel like you learn too much.
everyone's like, do it this way, don't do it this way. Like, take belaying. I mean, you could pretty much, as long as you have your hand somehow on that brake hand, it's pretty much going to hold. But now it's like you have to hold it a certain way for certain gyms, another way for other gyms. And it's just like,
Well, now there's gyms that won't even allow passive belay devices. So, like, you have to use like a Gree or what's that thing called? The Spirit, maybe? I don't remember. But the point being is like a belay device that will attempt to work even if you don't have your hands on it. I mean, there's gyms moving that way. I mean, that's a liability thing. I understand the liability part, but when you're outside, it's fun to just explore and get it's fun as long as you don't get hurt, which is the whole point of this.
Well, I could have had many close calls. I'm sure you could have probably been in the same boat.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But I mean, I don't think it's wrong. Like, if you feel the need to hire a guide and like learn stuff or take classes, and then hey, I mean, power to you. I don't think that's wrong. That's valuable. Right. John Long, you mentioned that like him and his buddies scraped a bunch of money together so he could hire a guide, and then he went and turned around and showed all his friends how to do it. What he learned, and then that was when he got started. And there's other people that, that will get tutored or, become the ward of some person that they hold in high esteem. They think they're an expert. And when in fact, it could just be some random person that really doesn't have any idea what they're doing. But especially when you know nothing, that's a very... what's the word? Delicate time, I guess, because you got to kind of figure that out for yourself. And I think that responsibility to be able to figure it out for yourself, I think anyone that is creating content on the internet that can be inferred to be some sort of tutorial, or it can be thought of as like a guide. Anyone who's creating that content, you have to take on this mantle of like, look, people are responsible for their own well-being. That's a disclaimer. As far as get any climbing gear, and the first sentence on that little manual, like, climbing is an inherently dangerous activity that carries the risk of injury or even death. And then blah, 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 we're not responsible, and yet they're making the safety equipment we're using, but I understand that. I mean, it's like, even in terms of my own safety, and, I have to be diligent about like, researching, what I'm getting myself into, or, to the best of my abilities, I make mistakes, absolutely, and
I think you should. I mean, if you're really trying to climb, and
you
should make mistakes and learn from them, and then improve. And
well, absolutely right. Right. I mean, you learn from those mistakes and you improve. The video of myself climbing the second pitch of Arrow. So right in the beginning of the video, and you've been on that climb, so
many times,
right. So
I love it.
And it's an amazing pitch of climbing. The actual climbing itself, I didn't do anything or feel I did anything like really wrong. What I did wrong in that video, and this is really important because was I did not have a directional in place before when I started the climb, so I'm tied in, and then it runs to my belayer, who is also tied in. All right. But I didn't have a piece in between himself and myself. Okay. So the point being is, if I would have fallen, I'm falling directly on,
pretty much landing on the landing there.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I would have just landed on the landing. But let's say I would have fallen off the landing. Like maybe I tripped when I was walking over to.
I've done that.
Yeah, well, someone died up there.
I've done that
exactly
in Yosemite.
That. Yeah,
I fell off a ledge. Like I fell down on a ledge and fell off the ledge.
So the point being is like if I would have fallen, it would have came straight down his blade of ice. Now he was fixed in. You can argue that's a factor to fall on the blade of ice. You should have a piece in between. All right, so now where I really went wrong was I knew this before I even hit the button on the video, and I remember like turning the camera on and thinking like, oh my god, the internet's going to chastise me for this situation, and I chose to keep filming. The ledge is very big and it's very comfortable up there, but it's not like, it's like everything. It's not 100%. All right. And well, anyway, a lot of people saw that and they gave me a ton of shit for it. And rightly so. Like because what was really, really wrong was in the whole thing that I just described, I never took in consideration my belayer. Was he aware of that situation? Because if I did it with you, one, you would know it, and two,
right. I understand what you're saying, because usually I try to make sure other people are safe. I don't care about myself so much.
Well,
but even sometimes I'll take risk.
Right.
But like where I know like things
even in
could
consideration
happen.
of those other people, you try to keep yourself safe because they shouldn't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you see a disaster happening at the crag. Do you want to get involved or not? And
I see that.
We all have
I've
we all
helped
stand
out
different
a few times.
Right. We all have different ways of approaching that and dealing with it, and it's tough. I mean, and I just want to be clear, like especially in the case of that video, I did wrong and I learned from it. I really did, and that's now. Would I have, if I had not posted that video, would have I ever really truly appreciated that situation?
Learned about it,
and then learning about it because an accident happens. There's real value in something like that. And
I don't think anything serious would happen. Someone could got hurt.
I don't, because like you said, if I would have fallen, I just would have landed on the ledge. But
I don't think you would have gone off.
Still, it doesn't excuse it, and I think that's kind of important to. But when you're talking like in terms of value of these, I mean, look, if you want to cruise my channel to just search for everything that I'm doing wrong, and there are people that do that. There are people who do it, and it's like, okay, that's fine, and then you're going to highlight in the comments, and people read comments. So, well, I don't know sometimes, but then everybody knows, The thing is, especially in the recent years, I've definitely hit a point where I'm comfortable and like what I'm doing is right or as correct as it's going to be, and if it's not, I'm going to know about it and probably say something on camera into that regard. It's or the mistakes now are going to be like very, 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 very small. I mean, like I might place a nut and not like yank hard enough to everyone's satisfaction. And it's like, look, I know how a nut seats at this point. I've done 100,000 of times I have done that. But you know what? Like, if people want to call that out, hey, that's fine.
Well, before we end this, do you have any future plans for like maybe improving the GoPro or getting a new one or anything different since we're talking
I'll tell you
GoPro?
what, like GoPro makes, I guess we're running out of time. Is that the case?
Yeah, we're probably over 30.
GoPro really does make a nice package. I mean, it's the reason I keep using, because there are other things available. You can get bullet cameras.
I'm just used to their software. I've gotten other cameras and I just never used it because
now, I mean, as
it's not even great software too.
I'll tell you what, like my biggest critique with them, at least as far as the session goes, is the audio quality.
They suck compared to my 360 camera. 360 camera is a really good microphone.
Well, I just got a regular Hero 5 knot session, which is the same form factor as a Hero 7, Hero 8 now. I might still buy a Hero 8, but I'm curious how the audio compares on those cameras.
I would just love to have something smaller. I would love to have I'd love to have a 360 camera that's small that I can just put on, and then that will also shoot standard too. I think I could probably pull it. I have to experiment with it, but I want to see if I can just pull the footage from the front camera. The problem is I think it's a different pitch. I think it's pitched weird, so it might look strange.
Pitched wheel? You mean the
might
field
be
of view,
wide or something? Yeah, I don't think it's like a normal standard like the session that I use.
I mean, you can fix that in post processing, but you don't use any.
Well, I don't want to do anything. It's not even that, but when I use the session, I can upload it, and it only takes like a short period of time. Where my 360 camera, if I do anything with the 360 camera, it takes me like 24 hours of rendering, which is a long.
That is a long time. Yeah.
My computer's a little slow.
Yeah, it might be. I think honestly, I think part of this stigma against point of view or footage is just simply the get up that you have on your head to actually make it a reality.
Yeah, I wish I could just make it smaller,
or you make it integrate in a helmet. Which I'm kind of surprised that doesn't really exist. I would love to do that.
I'd love to have something small that I could just mount.
I would just love to have a helmet that doesn't you don't have this thing protruding from it, and that's which there's no reason that can't be a reality. My guess is that the market isn't there for it. Or GoPros work that well because it's a little
different from climbers than it is for mountain bikers.
That's what I mean. Because the mountain biking, it's a different deal.
Yeah, they usually have like a front mount.
And where this footage really shines is like motorbikes, which is not a big deal in that scenario. So like for biking in general is where it really shines.
Yeah,
and
for us,
that's my guess anyway. But yeah, I would love to see it all sort of integrated.
Because getting it smaller, I think, would be nice, especially with my 360 cameras.
Part of what makes good footage is getting that camera as close to your head as you can. Because the further it out from the head it is, the more exaggerated all your movements are. And yeah, I mean, if you got it closer to your head, you had it in a smaller package, the footage would improve as well. Audio is something I would love to improve. It's important. I place a high value on it. But
I don't think it's the audio so much like the talking. It's those damn clicks.
I know.
That just
once you start hearing, man, they drive me nuts.
You pointed it out, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
I hear it all the time. All right, we should sum this up because I think we're way over now.
It's good talking. I mean, I can
first person beta. Check out his channels: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. His website, firstpersonbeta.com. I'm Gunkclimber. Check me out on YouTube, Instagram, and we'll see you out there climbing. Hopefully soon.
See you guys.